Peace. Some of y'all asked about the content on the album I just released. You know I do positive hip hop. You're wondering about how I did a project with someone who's incarcerated. We did songs before Supreme Allah was locked up. The night before he turned himself in again, we finished up a bunch of tracks and I agreed to release them once he was locked up. He has been there for a couple years now. We just released this record. And he's also been assisting with a gun reform program and nonviolence workshops in the correctional institution. I just received a letter today from one of the young men who he's working with that wanted to share this essay that he wrote about his experiences with other young men. And I'm going to do that now. So these are not my words, but I think they're worth listening to. As I begin expressing the dangers and consequences associated with illegal firearms, I'd like to give you a little insight on my life, who I am, and what led me to this very, quote, moment for change. My name is, I'm gonna see if I could get permission to use his name later, and I'm currently incarcerated serving a 3-year sentence for criminal possession of a firearm. I'm 29 years old, raised in the inner city of Bridgeport. I was an honors student throughout high school and pursued further education, receiving my bachelor's degree in computer science from University of New Haven. I have a soon-to-be 12-year-old son who's excelling academically and athletically. Although he's at the age where associating with the streets and guns is at an all-time high. With that being said, one would ponder, how did you lose focus and end up on the wrong end of the law? I mean, I'm a nerd by default, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, my friends were more influenced by the street life. So naturally, the associations, friendships, love, and loyalty to individuals came at a great cost. I feel obligated to get involved in their issues and beefs because, you know, those were my, quote, my bros, the squad. We grew up together, fought together, ate, played, and cried together. Inseparable was an understatement. The thing is, I allowed my loyalty to them to take precedence over the loyalty to myself and my family. I have no one to blame but myself, and I take full responsibility for my actions and poor decisions. Always be accountable. You're the only one in control of your choices. And please remember, you always have a choice. Nonetheless, enough about me. Let me give you the better options if you didn't know the street life only leads to one of two places, and the reality of it isn't cool at all: the graveyard or a prison cell. Take your pick. There are no other options. The peer pressure and influence to be like the gangsters or D-boys appears to be the lit, quote unquote, cool thing to do. You can get all the trap money, bag all the women, get the cars, new drip. Everyone either fears, loves, and or respects you. Why wouldn't you want all that? It sounds like a lit lifestyle and the best route to take, so why not? Well, for starters, that's the, quote, glorious side of the streets. But what's not mentioned is the gruesome side, the envy and jealousy that follows the endless shootouts and attempts to rob or end your life, the pain, agony, and suffering your family and loved ones endure, the financial burdens associated with bails, lawyer fees, and funeral expenses and arrangements. The moment you pick up that gun, you're changing the course of the dynamics of your life and everyone around you. Don't let the, quote, trend or, quote, being down lead you to carrying the, quote, Glock with the 30 and the beam. And don't let that become your narrative, as it was mine. It's okay to choose a different path. Stay focused, follow your dreams. There's nothing soft or scary about wanting a better life. It's okay to not want to be a, quote, street dude. It's okay to be aware of your potential and strive for excellence. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Only a fool allows someone to control their decisions. Be your own man. The graveyard is forever. This isn't GTA 5. We don't respawn. 20 plus hours a day in a cell with another man is not the way you want to live. I speak to my son often and try as hard as I possibly can to guide him properly through the phone. Use my failures as a learning experience. You don't have to make the same choices or live through it to learn from it. I've lost so much time and caused my loved ones irreversible pain, all behind picking up a gun. I thought I needed it for protection when I could have just walked another path and remained protected. Don't end up a casualty trying to be or show anyone you're tough. Tough guys fade away very quickly. Nerds rule the world we live in today. It's true. Stay away from the guns, I beg of you. You can't rewind time, and once it's done, you can't take it back. I over E. Intellect over emotions. Use your brain. Think twice, act once. I promise you, it'll save your life. If anything, just give yourself the options or opportunity to succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And if you've already picked up that, give yourself a, quote, moment for change. So like I said, I'm gonna see if I can get permission to say what his name is. Hold your head. Thank you for the work you're doing. You're showing a lesson that I was teaching in the nonviolence class earlier today with my students, which is that no matter where you are and what your surroundings are, you can be a positive force for change, and you can feel that self-love and then share it with others. You can also stop being controlled and manipulated and reactive to other people. When you start with self-love, appreciate yourself, appreciate a brighter vision for your family and your community. And that's exactly what this brother is doing, even though he is currently incarcerated. So I think that's an example to all of us who aren't locked in a cell 20 hours a day with one other person. Let's continue to win.